I know no one's here at the moment, but we had some problems, and they appear to be fixed. Let's get this going. All right, folks, sorry about that. We are having some major problems. At least I am on here. Um, hopefully, you guys can see what's going on. I don't know. And just bear with me for 1 second. I'm so sorry. So sorry on this. All right. Let's see if this is working. Oh, annoying. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. I'm so sorry. Oh, geez Louise. It's annoying. Can you actually see me? Okay, because it's telling me here I can't log in. It's telling me on here it's private and I can't. So, all right, folks. I don't know what's going on. I can't see the chat at all. So just give me a second. I'm so sorry. Please bear with me. This is really the first time, and I ran through everything once before, and it seemed to work, and now it is not. So let's see. Try this again. Well, on the table in front of me, as you can see, are a bunch of knives. I know the orientation is wrong because cooperating with me. So pardon me if everything is sideways. But and thank you for being here, and I appreciate your patience. You guys are awesome. So who do we have here? We have Angelo. Hey, Angelo. We have Book Dragon. We have Ron Crow. Guys. So we got started a little late. Camera's at the wrong orientation, and I don't know what's going on. All right. It is working. I see it. Okay, there we go. There's a little delay on my end. So let's talk EDC knives. So in front of me, I have a bunch of my favorite knives. These are just some on a regular basis. And again, some of my favorites. We've all seen in my videos and my posts. This is my Lander 2 with the Cosmic Kitty edition, or the Kitty Cosmo Crew, as they call it. Love this knife. Just a fun one. Just a fun one to play with. It's just a great shape, and this is one of my, like I said, one of my favorites. It's in my rotation. This is another one you've seen in the video. This one is the Bestechman Dundee. This one is in Magna Cut steel. This was a Knife Center exclusive. I did a video on this. It's actually one of my most popular videos. People just seem to really love this one. So, like I said, this is one of the best buys you can get in Magna Cut. Less than $100. Just a great knife. You know. Let's see what else we have here. Hey, Fook, how you doing, buddy? Spook is in the house. So I love that you guys are saying hello to each other. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. As some of you guys who were around last night on Legion Still's stream, I broke 100. I'm sorry, broke 700 subscribers, and I appreciate all of you who are subscribed. That's awesome. So let's talk about a knife that everybody seems to love, but I had to alter it because I didn't like the way it looked, and that is the Kaiser Militar. Just what I consider a perfect EDC knife, but this one actually had the olive inserts that are on this knife, and I hated having party streamers on a knife that is more set up for what I believe is, in the olive and black, it's more of a camping style, hiking style, more of a tactical style knife. So what I did was I took the olive green inserts off of this one and switched them. So now this to me makes a lot more sense with the party streamers on the black handles and the all olive edition here. So this one is more of a EDC everyday knife. This one is going to be more for, hey, I'm going out in the woods, I'm going camping. This is, the one to take with me. So, but both excellent, excellent knives. You know, this one, like I said, is just a great, great knife. And I love the look of the party streamers. They're just fun. And on the black handle, it looks so much better to me. How's it going, Angelo? Hey, Gareth, how you doing, buddy? I see we have Ron Pro. Like I said, I think I said hello to you, Ron, but if I didn't, so let's talk some other knives. Are there any knives on the table that you guys have questions about or you'd like to see? I see there's a slide on my screen as to when I'm actually saying things. It's about 15 seconds behind. So, yeah, you're right, Ron. If you drop the OD knife in woods, you will lose it. But, it just blends better with a lot of my other gear. So I just, like I said, I like that all, you know. The strangest knife in my collection. Um, I don't know if it's strange, but it's got the strangest color scheme. And that is this one. This is the Kaiser Original in the Serape finish. What's great about this one is it's just a great, kind of almost like a gentleman's EDC knife shape. It's not intimidating at all. You could take this with you to a party or whatever, and people are just going to find it fun. No one's going to be scared of it, because people have a stigma that knives are weapons as opposed to tools. But this is really great. I mean, it's got that flippy action. You can fidget with it all day. It just pops out of there. Like I said, I don't know if it's the strangest, but it's got the oddest color scheme of all my knives. You know, you're gonna find I have a lot of Kaisers on the table right now because I really like Kaiser. Um, but I mean, this is just a very small portion of my knife collection. This is just some of my favorites that I decided to bring out. You know, Strange, but also has some really nice aesthetic to it. This is a Civivi. This one has rear flipper, and I don't know if you could see it, but it's got a Damascus blade, beautiful Damascus blade on it, blue aluminum with carbon chopped carbon fiber inlays. Just a beautiful knife. Looks like a very expensive knife, especially with the milled clip, but not expensive at all. Less than $60, but just it looks much more expensive than it is, and it's a really nice carry too. And what's great about it is because it had an expensive look to it, but it's not expensive. You can use this as a daily knife and not worry about it. If you scratch it or whatever, because it's really not. And that also takes me to this one here. I don't know if you can see this one. This one is the Two Sons TS21. It's in a multicolor titanium multicolor clip, frame lock, beautiful blade. But they kept the price on this very low. And how they did that was they realized that, some of us, I'm sure some of you guys too, like a higher end looking knife, but don't want to pay that. So what they did was they just went with a D2 steel on this. D2, regular screw on the other side, which I don't know if I'm crazy about that, but on this, it actually doesn't look bad. You know, same thing, regular screw here, regular screw here. But if you notice the screws, they're capped on top. So you can put a flat blade in, but it won't slip out because it is capped. But that's how they made this. They put this beautiful titanium multicolored handle on it and put this beautiful blade with this beautiful swedge. And it's a D2, so it's very inexpensive. Another one that's, you know, less than, I think this one's less than $70, you know, just a great knife. Hey, Jim Miller, how you doing? Clint Crosby, how's everything? Hope you guys are having fun. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys sticking around after the trouble I had in the beginning of the live stream. Just really appreciate that. You guys don't know. I mean, I love this community. You know, I've been in the knife tube world for about 3 months now, and this channel was originally started to deal with motorcycles, or scooters, which, look at my channel logo. It's interesting because it has a Vespa scooter. I'm on the Vespa scooter. It's zooming along. You've got the road. You've got, which just represents the trees. This represents the desert and the land. The blue is for the water. So it's kind of what I was into. I was into scooter camping, scooters, motorcycles, that kind of thing. And that's how I started the channel. And then I started going off of that and doing roadside attractions and whatnot. But it always came back to me to knives because I have been a knife guy since I was young. I bought my first knife when I was like 12 years old. I actually went into a store in Brooklyn, New York, and bought the knife. And the guy in the store gave me a hard time. He goes, "What do you need a knife for?" And I told him, I was like, "I go camping and fishing." So he sold it to me. And I had that knife, but I wasn't allowed to have knives at the time because my father had had a very bad accident with knives. And he had gotten stabbed through the hand and had to have tendon surgery. So he never wanted me to have a knife. But I always kept this knife hidden in my pocket. And I'm sure he probably knew about it at some point, sort of just didn't say anything. You know, even at a young age, I was trusted to do the right thing. And then when I hit 18, my parents gave me a Swiss Champion knife, which is the predecessor to the Swiss Champ, which is the big, expensive Swiss Army knife, because they knew I legitimately went camping and fishing. I've done that ever since I was young, and hiking. So, and I've been into knives ever since. So I decided, you know what? I really like the knife community. I watch all the videos. Why don't I do some of my own? I have a nice knife collection. I have, um, a desire to do it. So I started, and you guys have jumped along, and I really appreciate that. You know, um, sorry if I keep saying this is all off the cuff, so it's all real. So let's talk about this knife here. Let's get back to the knives. Enough about me. So this knife here is the Kansept Little Main Street. Oops, it's got that that 80s camo carbon finish. What I hate on this is that you never know what you're gonna get when you order these things. You know, especially if you don't have a store where you can get them locally. There's not as much of a color pop in here that I would have liked, but it is there. It's subtle. There's more color on the other side, on the clip side, as opposed to the show side. So, but this is just a great little, fifth pocket knife. It's small, it's unobtrusive, and it's sharp as hell. And it actually, even though I'm having trouble deploying it now, which I don't know why, it actually deploys pretty easy. You just put a little force into it because, I haven't played a lot with it. This is just a nicer little knife. A little expensive bugger, though, for what it is. Then we have here, we have this one, which is one of my favorites. My wife gave me this one for my birthday. She ordered this. This was the Smoky Mountain Knife Works Special Edition, the Variant 2, which is inspired by the TV show Loki. And this is the Kaiser Lieb, and it's got this beautiful copper handle with the fat carbon insert. Actually, I don't know if it's a fat carbon or if it's a G10, but it's got that blue pivot with the green highlights on the other side. Just a beautiful, beautiful knife. And this one is, like I said, it's one of my favorites. One, because I really like the way it looks, but more important, my wife gave this to me, and that's really, really important. She's here in the chat somewhere. If you see Book Dragon in there, say hello. Hey, War Room EDC, how are you? Glad you're here. But hey, Jim Miller, thank you for stopping in. I know you're going back to work, but I appreciate it. This is an interesting little knife. This is by Bomber and Company. I don't know if you know Bomber and Company, but Bomber and Company. They make these knives that they basically wind up as Kickstarters, and this one is called the Speedy. It's the fastest, smallest knife you can get. This has a 440C blade. It is a tiny little bugger. I can only get 2 fingers on there, which is why I have the lanyard. But this is a great little 5th pocket carry. You know, liner lock. It is spring assisted, so it pops right out of there. So, and it's very functional for a tiny little knife. And Bomber & Co. has some interesting knives that, I don't think a lot of people know them because they are usually a Kickstarter brand, but like I said, I like it. I have a couple of their other things too. I even had a really small tactical knife that fits on a keychain, which is actually, called the B2. It's really great. I don't have it here. It's over there. But let's talk about what I'm actually carrying today. So let's start with emptying my pockets. First thing I have in today's carry is my SOG. This is the SOG Power Pint. I carry this every day, or a Leatherman or something, but this one is the one I carry most. So that stays there. I have my Glow Rhino Fermi. I did a short about this the other day that kind of took off, which I'm happy about. Tritium embedded in the stud, in the handles. So if you don't know, tritium is a low-level radioactive material that glows. It's harmless. It has I think a 64-year half-life. So it'll glow at full brightness for the next 64 years. I'll be dead by the time it half-lives. So it's great because you can see it in the dark. And they include this little glow-in-the-dark zipper pull that does need to be charged under light. I put it on as a lanyard because I just like having the lanyard on this because of the glowing feature. This is great if you're camping at night and you put it down in the tent because it'll glow. And if you need to pick it up in the dark for some reason, you can. You'll see it. It's a great knife, great blade shape, very drop shutty. So I'm carrying those. In my 5th pocket today, I have, let's see, I have, as always, my little Swiss Army knife SD Classic. This one has been down the road. It's all beaten up, scratched, marred, but it holds up and it works. I like having the little pull on it because it makes it easy to find in the pocket. Also, in the 5th pocket that rides with that is, if I can get it out of my pocket because it's kind of stuck. That's embarrassing, but here it is. Sorry, folks. This is the Gear Infusion ratchet pry bar. So it carries a bit in there, which you can put in here, and it ratchets. It's got the pry bar. It's got your little nut drivers. It's got your bottle opener. It's got an inch mark so you can measure if you really needed to. I don't know who would use that, but the big thing about it is that bit works concurrently with my SOG. So the SOG has a place to put bits to work as a bit driver. So I can put that there, squeeze this shut, and now I've got a perfect complement for the SOG, because the one thing about the Power Pint, the screwdrivers aren't very big. They're really kind of on the small side. So this gives me a normal sized Phillips bit to use. And the gear ratchet gives me a big size flathead to use as well. So I carry those. Then I also carry every day a pen. This is the Olight Mini 2 that has your pen and your pencil. So if you push down to the bottom, pen comes out. If you move to the top, if you circle that all the way to the top, which is a little tricky, it seems to be getting jammed, of course. Oh, there we go. That's the pencil edge. So you have a pencil and a pen in one unit. And small, it's compact, it's great, fits in the pocket. There's that. And then there is the flashlight. These all ride in my pockets every day. Some people say, well, doesn't it weigh you down? Well, I wear a belt. That's why. But this is the Wuben E7. this is just a fantastic light. USB-C chargeable, multi modes. You've got your low, your high, your SOS mode, and your strobe mode. And you also have a lockout switch. Now, if you lock it out, so you don't accidentally turn it on, which is great. Hey, Detecting with Jim. Hey, Matthew. Welcome aboard. Nick McKenzie. Appreciate you being here. If you're not subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you guys on the regular. Today we up to a little bit of a glitchy start, and just again, everybody joined us right from the beginning. Thank you. I'm glad you guys came back after I had to restart. I apologize for the weird camera angle. We're gonna have to get that straightened out. Might have to do something different with the camera stand and the light, but is everybody hearing me okay? Just want to know that. Is that a cold steel next to the Mannix? No, no, that is not. Oh, here? No, this is a. Oops. This is the North Mountain Blaze Chop 2. This is a fantastic knife. These regularly sell for about $80. I don't know if you could tell, but there's a slight discoloration in the G10 here. Because of that, they had these on a half price sale. I got this one, and they periodically do that. I got this one for $39.99. I think it was like half price. And I didn't care because this is going to be used. It's going to get like it is now from being in the pocket. It's already got marks on the G10. But this is a fantastic blade. It's a multi-layer steel. It's their equivalent of, I believe, but I don't remember. Could be a V20. I really don't remember, to be honest. But I love this. This is just a great shape. And this is a Japanese Tanto. And what is meant by that, for people who don't know, the American Tanto is straight, where this is curved. And that's the difference between a Japanese Tanto and an American Tanto. So for anybody to know, great button lock on this, really fidgety. I just love this one. I mean, great feel of the handle. So, but hope that answers that one. What do you mean, Garrett? No top. I'm just not sure what you meant on that. Yeah, Garrett, the North Mountain Blade Works is really, really comfortable. So just to let you guys know, I'm in New Jersey. And New Jersey has some crazy knife laws. You can't have any switchblades. You can't have any. Let me rephrase that. You can't carry switchblades, and you can't own a switchblade. But you can own an out the front, but you can't carry it out the front, which makes no sense to me. So I really like the Boker Kalashnikov, and of course, as everybody knows, that is a automatic side flip blade, which is considered a switchblade by my state. So I opted to get their manual opening knife because I do love the shape of the blade. I love the handle. D2 steel. This is the Boker Kalashnikov, but this is the button lock manual opening version, which is completely legal. And these sell very inexpensively. I think they are like $34. And it's just a nice blade. It's a big knife if you like big knives, and I like big knives, and I cannot lie. So, otherwise, you can see on the table, I have small knives too. But really, this is just a great knife. These I want to call them like speed bumps. Like if you're going down a road and you're driving over speed bumps, those are really, your fingers go right in there and they hold really well. And there's just a minor, it's not even, I won't even call it jimping right there, but it's got like two jimps. Let's just call it two jimps, but that'll actually enough to hold your hand in a great position. So. Hello, Yash. Welcome to the chat. How's everybody? Oh, okay. Gotcha, Gareth. Gotcha. This is one of my favorites. This is my Mannix 2. American made, just a great knife. This is the Mannix 2 lightweight. I love the kind of aqua teal color on this. This is in the Spy 27, which is a proprietary metal to them, and it is fantastic. This is just really, really great. Um, you know, I don't know if anybody's actually how many people have used it, but I mean the ergos are amazing. Fits your hand perfectly. If you want to choke up, you can because they put a choil with jimping. Your thumb just sits right there and just grabs, and you can make some precision cuts. And if you did have to reverse it, we all know what that's for, you know, punch slash type of thing. It works well for that as well. It's got this. It's not an access lock, but it is a lock similar, except that it doesn't have omega springs. Instead, this has a spring that rides from that screw basically to there, so it locks it in place. And it's a real solid lock. This one I have to work on adjusting the pivot slightly because it's not real easy for me to flick. I can do it sometimes, but I can't get it all the time. It's just a little too tight. I'm gonna have to work that a little bit, it up and re-lubricate it. But it's just a great knife. It's a that thing will cut all day long. So, what else? Let's see. I mean, other than what's on the table, there's still a lot of knives that are not on the table. I mean, a lot of knives. But these are just some of my favorites I wanted to show today. This is obviously the Ontario Rat 2, just a perfect blade shape, perfect ergos in the handle. Again, a nice jimping, and it comes up so you can get your thumb right on there. You know, just a lot of fun. It's a little small. Where the Rat 1 I think was too big. So with that being said, they came out with a Rat 1.5, which improves a couple of things. It puts it at the medium size in between this and in between the one, but also it upgrades to Magna Cut steel. So they've increased the quality of the steel immensely because this is an AUS 8, which some people crap on AUS 8, but there was a time when AUS 8 was considered a super steel. So, it's a good steel. It's not a great steel, but it'll get the job done. This is my Hogue Deca. Love this thing. This was initially when I was choosing, I wanted a knife that was similar to the Bug Out, and I was on the fence, Bug Out or the Deca, Bug Out or the Deca. I decided to go with the Deca, and I haven't looked back. Although I did get a Benchmade Bug Out later on, and I'll say I don't like it as much as Deca. Deca's got a better blade shape. It's Magna Cut. The handle, very similar. It's got this nice grooving system, which holds really well. Jimping's perfect. This is just a great one. And I'm a Magna Cut fanboy. So, give me blades and Magna Cut all day long. And hopefully they figure out the situation with Crucible. So that gets all squared away and we go from there. This one here is the Kaiser Veritas. And this was the Fallout inspired release. That was the exclusive from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Just a beautiful, beautiful knife. And if you're a fan of Fallout like I am, I played every single game and watched the series. It's a front flip or a thumb flip. Front flip works well if you don't screw it up like I did there. I always do it on one camera. I never screw up a front flip when I'm not. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just the pressure. I don't know. But another great blade. But this one, again, is not a. This one is. Oh, there you go. Thumb flippable. This one is just a great blade. Not really a user because, again, this is one of the collectibles for me. I like some of these collectible knives that won't really get used, but it's just a great knife. If I did want to use it, I would just buy another Veritas, one of the normal variations in black. This is another Kaiser that I love. This is the Cobalt 2. This one is, I think if I remember right, an S. Oh, this is with a Nitro V. Nitro V? No. Yeah, this is a Nitro V on this one. I'm sorry, this is not the Cobalt. This is the Vision. I'm sorry. This is the Vision with the Dream Lock on top, which is kind of like a Demko shark lock. So sorry about that. Yeah, this is the Civivi Vision, not the Kaiser Cobalt. I don't know what made me think that, but this is a great knife. This is just a perfect EDC knife. I mean, size is perfect. The look is great. I only wish they included some jimping up here. They put jimping here, but no one's really. I mean, I guess you could hold it like that, but maybe. But I mean, you can push up against here, but then you risk opening the lock. So, but it's got that dream lock, as they call it. But it's a great knife, you know. All right, we're 41 minutes in. Well, I've been collecting a long time. So this was not like, I went out and bought all these yesterday. I have right now 3 cases of that hold 36 knives each. I have another smaller case that holds 20. And then I have a bunch of just another one that holds like 18, and then just some various other knives that aren't even in cases. And I always have knives sitting next to me. My wife thinks I'm nuts because on the couch I usually sit with like 4 or 5 knives next to me, fiddle with them, fidget with them, mostly while watching KnifeTube, type of thing. But yeah, it's just been collecting over the years. I mean, like I said, I'm 54 right now, and I've been collecting knives since I was my first real knife when I was 18. So just do the math. Some of these obviously are newer knives, but I have a lot of older knives in my collection too. I have a cable marine fighting knife that was my dad's that still sits in a box in the closet that will never be carried because that kind of means a lot to me. Although I could, I've got a bunch of fixed blade knives as well, and they're all for different purposes. Most of them are for EDC, but again, I do a lot of hiking, a lot of camping, fishing, and that sort of thing. So some of the knives are for that. And just let's face it, knives are cool, you know. And I'm a collector of things. My wife, Book Dragon, she could attest. I have a massive guitar collection. I have 45 guitars now. I just sold 3 recently, and down to like 24 guitar amps. So yeah, Fook, I don't have a lot of knives compared to what a lot of the other community have. No, I don't have. I have one short sword that's a medieval style sword. Um, that I have to admit, I'm a geek and I go to Renaissance fairs and I bring it to the Renaissance fair with me in my full costume. So that's the only sword I have. Hey, Weld, how you doing, buddy? Glad you're here. Knives are life. I'm glad you're here. Shout out to everybody who's here. I appreciate it. Let me see something. But yeah, I mean, so there are, just a lot of knives in my life. Let's see. Also, multi tools. I have a bunch of multi tools that I've collected over the years, various Leatherman, Gerber, that sort of thing. Um, it's just their hobbies, you know. Some people collect stamps. Some people collect coins. I happen to like knives, guitars, and motorcycles. You know, but yes, as Book Dragon says. By the way, Book Dragon's my wife. Say hello to Book Dragon. As she says here in the chat, there are knives everywhere. I'm also a true crime fan, so it makes me twitch. See, my wife's one of those people who can't get over the fact that knives aren't necessarily weapons; that they're tools. She thinks they're weapons. So, there's a little bit of uncomfortability there, but I try to tell her, and she knows me. I'm not a violent person, so we've been married for 20, going on 20 years now. So she knows I don't have a violent bone in my body unless it's to defend us, you know. But wow, Ron, wow, you've only been collecting since April of last year, and you have 150. Oh yes, Book Dragon. That's great, Ron. By the way, Book Dragon also just said, tell them about the flashlights. Yes, I am a flashlight hoarder. I love flashlights. There are flashlights I love flashlights. There's no other way to say it. I love flashlights since I was a kid, and I was petrified of the dark when I was very little. So I always had flashlights. They were always around. I used to take a flashlight to bed with me, keep it under the blankets, and that's what would put me to sleep. Hey, Burnt Relic, what's up, buddy? So this knife here is the Petrified Fish Bunta, and this is a meaty sucker. Big handle, very good jimping here. I love when knives come up like this. You know, you've also got the thumb hole. That thumb hole is a little small with the way this is cut from my fingers, but other people can do it. I have big fat fingers, no doubt about it. But this knife is really, to me, just a perfect EDC daily banger. It's got great ergos. The blade is just perfect for slicing. It's heavy up here. It's a hollow grind, so it's very slicey. And this one, not myself, but if you've ever watched Outdoor Gear Review, he put this through a test, a long-term test, and he loved it. He found it to be, for him, the most perfect EDC knife out there. And again, at the Outdoor Gear Review, he does some great stuff about camping, um, camping gear, hiking gear, all that kind of stuff. And he tested this in the long term. And he loved it, and he put it through its paces. I None of my knives really wind up being too dirty or scratched up, or because I change them out pretty much every day. I carry a different knife, you know. It's just I enjoy having different knives, and it's to me it's just like choosing my, you know. I love them all. So what we have here is this is the SRM 255L. Great knife, layered steel again, just like kind of like the North Mountain Blades knife, the chop. This is another great EDC shape. This is a G10, but feels like micarta. And if you notice the stud, the for the access lock, that's a glow in the dark stud. So when the lights go out, that'll glow for a while. And like they engrave on top, stay ready for more. Just a really nice knife. The place for the lanyard is so small, I couldn't fit a normal size paracord through there. So I use this mini paracord. I am a lanyard guy, but yeah, it's great stuff. Like I said, this is a very good value. Also, too, the clip is reversible. All you have to do is squeeze it and pull it out, and then you could pop it to the other side. So this is great for lefties and righties. So you just pop that down in there, and now you reverse the clip, which is a really nice feature. You can do that without tools. And now I have it set up for a lefty carry. So just a great knife. And that's kind of a nice innovation, although some more knife companies I'm seeing doing that, you know. But yeah, just a fun knife. Now here we have one of everybody's favorite knives, the Vosteed Raccoon. This one has the crossbar lock on top. I got this when the top liner locks weren't available. I wish they were available, but I got to say I don't mind the crossbar lock. I like it. So just another great knife. I did update the studs. I actually use these blue studs from Kaiser, and I think it really makes just a nice touch. I'm working on upgrading a lot of knives. I have the blue paracord with the blue bead on it. Just nice colorway on that. Just a great knife. So I'm working on one of the Ozark Grail knives, and these are the scales from that. I found somebody who made glow in the dark scales, and I swapped them out. Unfortunately, I don't have that near me by the table. It's just that's a fun knife. I mean, it's not getting on the internet, but I got it, for the original. For me, it was fun, and yeah, it's just that's a fun one because now they're coming out with more accessories because it got so popular. different, again, you can change the thumb studs on it. You can change the clips, and now people are making scales. So it's a lot of fun. You know what kind of types of content you do upload? Well, I do mostly, Yash, I do mostly knife content, EDC content. In the summer, when we're doing more road trips, I will be uploading still some of the roadside attractions type of stuff. Planning to do some more camping trips this year. We're going to document some of those. Show how the gear works out in the wild. You know, in fact, hold on one second. I'm going to grab something here, show you guys. So what I have here is one of my micro EDC kits that I put together. This is a zero feud pouch. This is the cup, the small size. This is great because this is so small. It fits in the palm of my hand. This could be put in a back pocket. I can hang it on a belt loop. I can just throw this in, in a little, in a backpack, throw it in a glove compartment. And this is a pretty complete kit. So let me kind of show you guys what's in here. It starts out with, there's a Gerber dime multi-tool. You have the CRJB Malaya, which is a nice small compact knife, which really goes well. And as you can see, I matched everything up in here. We did all reds. I've got a Olight Mini, the original version in red. I've got a Olight I3E small flashlight, emergency whistle. Going to the back here, we have a magnifying glass, right on rain pad, which I love having those as small. Then in this pocket here, let's just dump this pocket. We've got, in the back, we've got Tylenol. Always good when you're out in the field. I've got Band-Aids. You never know when you're going to have ouchies. Then we have the tiny survival guide. You never know when that comes handy. Even though I've been doing this for years, there's stuff you just don't know, or in the moment you may not remember. Then in there as well, let's see what else we have. Eyeglass wipes, because I do wear glasses. Then here, to start fire, we have the Sparky carbiner. So this has a ferro rod built in, and then I have a ceramic striker here, and then I have a CRK2 pry bar that sits in here. So if I need to start a fire, I can. And here, this is just a glow-in-the-dark bead. This is kind of a complete little EDC kit. So I do that kind of content as well. There's going to be a lot more of that coming up. Lately it's been more knives because it's been a lot more stuck in it on the inside in the winter. And that's kind of when I started this whole journey. But there's going to be more varied content. Yeah, like you said, you laughed at the tiny kit, but then you see how much is actually in there, and it becomes useful. Obviously, that's not a full survival kit or anything like that, but that's just a good day-to-day. Hey, it fits in my back pocket. It's not like some of the pouches I have are big and they're heavy and they're bulky, and I put them in a backpack. But if I'm just going out, like just to go for a short walk through the neighborhood, you never know. Take it with me. Throw it in the backpack. I'm going for a drive. Throw it in the car. I mean, I have other I have full-size survival kits in the car. But when I get out of the car, I don't want to carry that. So I can carry this, You just don't know when you're going to need it, So life happens. We all know that. So that's why it's good to have a little kit to be prepared. And that's some of the content I do, I put together these kits. I talk about all kinds of, like, if you want to talk motorcycles, I could do that, talk that all day too. Motorcycles, guitar, any of those. Those are all some of my passions and loves, But yeah, knives are one of them. So how many people we have watching? No, we have 9 people watching that are still here, and I appreciate everybody who's been here from the beginning here to the end. And we're going to wrap up in a little bit. And I just want to say again, thank you. Thank you for people who have subbed. We made 700 subs. I have a big giveaway coming up. That in the next live, there's going to be a big video. I'm sorry, big giveaway. I'm going to put up a video on how to enter that. And then when we have the live, we'll pull the winner. There's going to be a couple of knives in that giveaway. Some other stuff too. So I hope everybody, checks in for that. That's going to be a fun one. But we'll wrap it up here because I know there's going to be some other shows starting at noon. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out, everybody for joining up. And, really, I appreciate everybody who stood here in the beginning. I know I'm rambling and repeating myself, but thanks a lot, folks. And until we meet again, keep your blades sharp.